¿Alguna vez se han detenido a pensar en las Pop-Tarts? Por supuesto que no. Pero son una de esas cosas que siempre están ahí, en la alacena, como un mueble viejo, pero si pensamos en ellas por un segundo, nos damos cuenta de que son 2 pedazos de masa tostada con un delicioso relleno azucarado. Pero, ¿a quién diablos se le ocurrió ese manjar y por qué seguimos comiéndolo? Esa es la historia que Jerry Seinfeld, uno de los comediantes más icónicos de todos los tiempos, nos cuenta en su debut cinematográfico como director en Unfrosted o Sin Glaciar. Una cinta en la que nos cuenta la historia de los Pop-Tarts, pero ¿realmente nos cuenta la historia de los Pop-Tarts?
Thank you so much. This is Francisco Lanis from Sopitas. I'm with iconic comedians Jerry Seinfeld and Jimmy Gaffigan to talk about Unfrosted. How are you guys?
How are you doing, Francisco?
I'm doing great. Very excited to talk with you about the film comes about from this gag that you wrote over 10 years ago about Pop-Tarts. So how did you got to grow into your first movie?
It was because of the COVID lockdown. We had nothing to do, and we weren't on stage doing comedy. Didn't know if we ever were going to do it again. And we thought, well, we could make a movie. That could be done because you don't need a big audience to make a movie. And so my friend Spike suggested we write a movie about the Pop-Tart, which we had joked about. And I didn't think that there was a movie there. It didn't seem like enough of a story. And then we started thinking about it like The Right Stuff with trying to put a man on the moon. And then it seemed like it could work.
And when was the moment that you said, oh, this is not going to happen? And then the moment that said, oh, it's happening.
Once we did the script, really it was the first meeting, the first time we talked about it. And I thought, this is never going to happen. This is going to be one meeting and it's never going to happen. And then when we started talking about the US versus the Soviet Union and NASA in the 60s and how everybody looked and acted in the 60s and the competition of 2 big companies in a small town, that's when I went, oh yeah, this is happening. And I knew from that point that the script was going to be good. I knew the movie would work out.
Jerry Seinfeld hace lo más Seinfeld posible y desarrolla una maravillosa comedia a partir de un hecho que pudiera no tener mayor relevancia, pero que en realidad se trata de uno de los hitos de la cultura pop más importantes del siglo pasado. Y de paso, nos invita a reírnos de nosotros mismos y el absurdo que puede llegar el ser humano cuando se trata de competir con alguien más.
There are many references and homage to films like The Godfather and another Easter eggs. I mean, the film has many layers, but one that resonates with me is how idiotic the humans can be when it comes to competing. You know, I mean, was this idea one of the pillars of telling the story?
Absolutely. That's very observant of you. Yes, the dumbness of humans to want to compete over the dumbest things is a huge undercurrent of this movie, is how silly we are that we would fight over this. Who could come up with a toastable breakfast treat first?
Yeah, and Jim, for you, what was the most incredible and useless fact that you discovered about Pop-Tarts when making the movie?
Oh, well, I think the fact that that Post had something, like, I think that's rather bizarre. That, like, I think that they got the name wrong.
Yeah.
And you know, that
the whole look of it.
Yeah,
they made it like an adult thing.
Yeah, and how, you know, underestimating the power of children really was a miscue.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe in a way it was generational too, because, you know, if you really overthink it, it was, I mean, now we're very much youth focused, but probably at that time, you know, coming out of the 50s, there was an expectation, what do these kids know?
And it turned on a dime when the Beatles arrived, and all of a sudden kids were completely in charge of the culture.
Yeah.
And that's what Pop-Tart was there.
That's beautiful. Well, congratulations on the movie. I really enjoyed. Hope you have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Francisco.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Acompañado por un gran elenco y varios cameos sorpresivos, Sin Glaciar es una de esas películas que te llevan a reírte, a cuestionarte de esas cosas que no sabías que necesitas saber y de paso atestiguar la evolución que hemos tenido como sociedad en los últimos 50 años. Así que si tienes ganas de ver una película para mensear, para reírte o simplemente para pasarla bien por pasarla bien, Unfrosted o Sin Glasear es una de esas películas que debes agregar a tu lista de reproducción y por supuesto disfrutarla sin culpa.
I believe we have split the atom of breakfast.